right. We have Julie Jeske here, a relationship expert, and this week's topic is, do you get along with your in-laws? And judging by the poll question we had on our website, 50% say they do, so that's great.
Yes.
But for those who don't, what are some typical or common problems you have heard or come across?
So sometimes what happens is when two people get married, whoever the in-law is, whether it's mom or dad, they can start to feel left out a little bit. You know, we hear things like mama's boy or daddy's girl for a reason, because often, you know, people are close with their parents. And then when all of a sudden a new person comes in and kind of takes a lot of that energy, then the parent can feel left out a little bit. So that may be what they're experiencing sometimes. Also, the new partner who's coming into the relationship, the thing I've heard the most from people is when the parent, the in-law, is critical to them, that really, really impacts their relationship. You know, always offering advice that doesn't come across as advice, but comes across as like the way you need to do it, second guessing the choices or decisions you make. I think it kind of goes to another level when there are children involved.
I was just going to say that,
right, because everybody's got the idea of how to raise children, right?
Perfect parents, So what can you do? I mean, if you don't get along with your in-laws, how do you go about
and don't get a
that?
divorce.
And without getting a divorce,
yes. So if you are the person who's not getting along with your in-law, really just stop and think about it. Because sometimes we just have this idea of like, I just don't like them, I don't like them, they're different than my parents are fantastic, his parents or her parents aren't. End of story, you know? And so if you really look at them as humans, because here's the reality. Most of us love our parents, but we can see their flaws too, right? We can love them and still be like, oh, when they do this, it drives me crazy. When it's an in-law, we don't necessarily come with that love, so we see the things that drive us crazy about them a little bit more easily. So kind of looking at them going like, okay, they're a human being, and maybe they drive me a little bit crazy, okay? And then, if you in a loving way, involve them in your lives to a degree, right? That doesn't mean you have to have them
distance.
You don't have to have them move in with you. You don't have to have them come and have dinner with you every night. But imagine if the in-law is feeling a little left out, how lovely it will feel to have an invitation come their way. You know, like, oh, would you like to come help us do this? We're working on this. Would you like to be involved? So that can be kind of like extending, you know, extending welcome to them.
The olive tree branch or whatever.
The olive tree branch thing, whatever.
I always get sayings wrong, that thing. But okay, so let's flip it then. What if someone out there is listening who is the parent?
The in-law.
The in-law who doesn't get along or doesn't like.
If you are the parent or the in-law and you're listening right now, any way you can kind of release some of that criticism. And it can be hard, because here's the thing, we think our way is the best way, right?
It is.
People love to be right. And when you're trying to get along with your child's partner, it's more important to get along with them than to be right. So if you can kind of back up on some of that criticism, if you can back up on some of that like super intense advice and just offer help, because we like to receive help, as long as it comes as true help, that can make a difference.
It's all in how it's said.
It is. It is. The wording, the tone. I hear a lot from people about tones, you know, in one family people are direct, and another they're a little bit more, they move like this, and so the direct person sounds like they're yelling. We're used to certain tones. So if you can be thoughtful about how you say something, that can make a difference.
And just your actions. I know, I mean, I love my mother-in-law. She's a little baddie, as anyone who knows her. I mean, she's fun. She's super fun. She lived with us for a year when we had our daughter. And she's very like anti-plastic, very green. And so she would throw things away without telling us, including she threw away a Teflon pan because it was like peeling or something. And my husband got super mad because she didn't ask beforehand. So your actions too. I mean, the things, don't throw away things without asking.
If she had said, hey, I want to throw this away because I'm worried about your safety, you'd be like, okay, absolutely. But it's when things are just done, and it feels like it's done without permission, that can rub people the wrong way.
Totally.
And it's great that your husband got involved too, because often the person who feels like they're in the middle, right, the person who, it's their parent, it's their partner, they don't know what to do. They feel caught between these two people that they love a lot. And so it's important for them to back up their spouse.
Okay, so what's our homework then?
The homework.
Your homework this week is to take one baby step towards extending that, what is it called?
Olive branch.
Olive branch.
Tree branch.
So if you are the partner, then offer an invitation to your in-law, you know. Ask for some help. Ask for them to be involved in some way. If you are the parent or in-law, then you offer some help without being critical.
All right.
Okay. And next week?
Yeah, next week.
Next Wednesday, we are talking about, we're talking to all the people who are taking their partners for granted. And talking about how a little gratitude can go a really long way.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
I like it.
Yes. Okay, thanks, Julie.
Thank you.
Always fun and informative, of course. We'll see you next week.
Thanks so much. All right.